Hello and welcome to this week's video. Today I want to talk about the arms and the hands because I can. I'm going to do it seated. I had a comment that the audio on my last video wasn't very clear. I'm not quite sure why, because it seemed okay at my end, but I'm using Bluetooth microphone and everything today, so hopefully that will resolve that problem, and I do apologise, but as I say, the audio track was fine from my viewpoint. So, in my last couple of episodes, last 3 episodes, I went through the principles of Tai Chi, explained the difference between Tai Chi and qigong. Tai Chi is a form of qigong. I demonstrated a short Tai Chi set that is possible for those who can stand. And then last week, I demonstrated how those moves can be adapted to someone who cannot stand, remembering that by definition, Tai Chi is done standing. And I led you through the same moves so that whether you can stand or whether you can sit, you now have available to you a short qigong set that once you know the moves, the recommendation is that you do 6 to 8 repetitions of each move. So that won't take you too long for the 5 moves that I demonstrated, or 6 moves that I demonstrated, I've lost count, 5. And something that you can do daily. What I want to do today is talk about the importance of the hands and the arms, because they are the most obvious thing that move during the moves that I demonstrated. Now, whether you're standing or whether you're sitting, your arms need to be relaxed and light. What you don't want is to have your arms stiff so that there's a real effort in your shoulders to hold them up. You need to, I sometimes use the phrase that when you're in the preparation and just standing and breathing, imagine all the weight drains out of your arms so that they're as light as a feather. And the idea is that your arms and hands can just respond quite naturally. So I'm going to just literally do all the demonstration here, just on the first move, which is this move of raising the arms. Now, what happens is, as you breathe in, if you've got your core muscles engaged, the movement of the breath causes ripples of movement through all the other muscles, and you just have the slightest bit of intention so that as you breathe in, your arms float up, and then as you breathe out, your arms just float down. Now notice a number of things. My elbows are not locked. They're soft. And if you listen to what I said during the preparation for the standing set, I said let your knees be soft. The same thing applies here. Your elbows need to be soft, because just as really closed off muscles, joints, stop the flow of the energy, so a locked out joint isn't actually the easiest thing for energy to flow through either. Your joints are not designed to be locked. You have to kind of put a lot of effort into it. And the whole idea behind this is it's minimal effort. So you're not aiming for really straight arms, you're aiming for relaxed arms that can move easily. And I don't want you to feel any strain in your shoulders. If you feel strain in your shoulders, you're putting too much effort into it. But now I want you to look at my hands, and I'll actually turn sideways so you can see this a little easier. Do you notice how the position of my hand changes? And it changes in a way that it naturally would do if it was responding to the air pressure. So when my hands float up, my arms float up, my hands are naturally a bit bent down. And then as my arms float down, the hands flatten a little bit. There's a bit of air pressure coming up. And that is just as important a part of the move as the movement of the arms. Why? The whole point of qigong is to move your energy around. And the basis of acupuncture and acupressure, both of which have been recognised by Western medical science as having value and having benefits, is that the flow of energy through the channels can be modulated and altered by applying some form of stimulus to the points that lie along the meridian. Now, there are a number of different meridians and different acupressure points that lie along the arm. And every time you move your arms, you are stimulating them. But there are some key acupressure points in the wrist and a very important point called the qigong point in the centre of the palm. And when as your hand and your fingers change position, you are stimulating that qigong point, and you are helping the energy flow. So the change in position of the wrist as the hand moves up and down is part of that, but also the hand is changing shape. You basically use two arm shapes, hand shapes in qigong. You'll either have the hand like that, whether it's that way up or that way up, or the hand will be like that. Now, one of the positions is the receiving position, the kind of the cupped position is the receiving position, and that position is the sending position. So you're receiving energy or you're sending energy. This is helping the energy move. So the shape of your hands matters. And so the moves that your hands make when you make the moves matters. This is probably most obvious in the second move, where the arms spread apart. And you might hear me say the phrase, keep the palms pointing towards each other, which means in move 2, the wrist stays in that shape, because in move 2, you are trying to gather energy in. And if your hands go like that, you're not going to gather the energy in. So as you breathe in, your hands spread apart, you breathe out and they come back in. So it's cup to receive, and then if you've ever heard me use visualizations with this second move, I'll just move a little bit further back. With the second move, I often say, Spread your arms as if you're welcoming in good and positive feelings. So you are receiving energy. And as you breathe out, imagine you're breathing out stress and tension. And if you notice, on the out breath, the hands go to the sending position. There is logic to what I demonstrate and to what I say. Now, I'm not going to go into this in huge depth, but I just want to introduce you to this idea of soft arms and just letting your arms move and your hands move in a natural, easy way. And with one, and to be honest, depending on how much your hands want to work, if the first move for you is just hands flapping from the elbows, do you know what? That's fine as long as you don't completely close your elbows off. It's better if the movement comes from higher up. But the goal with Tai Chi is not to do anything perfectly. The goal is be aware of what your body is happy doing and do that. And some days you may find that you're nice and easily flowing, and other days it's just going to be a gentle flap and you're thinking, oh, I'm too tired to do very much. That's okay. The only thing I would say is the important thing is that you do something every day. Okay. I'm going to move a little bit closer to the camera now. And I did say last week that I would end with a short meditation. Why do I link qigong and meditation? Well, I often say that qigong is a kind of moving meditation for the sort of person who says they cannot meditate. And when I run a qigong class or a tai chi class, there's always two bits to it. I lead people through the moves. And when I lead people through the moves, I'm encouraging them, very much encourage them to be mindful of what their bodies want to do. Because the golden rule is nothing you do during Tai Chi or Qigong should cause you any pain or any discomfort. And you're only going to notice that if you're being mindful of how your body feels. So in a way, Qigong is encouraging you to be mindful of your body. But your energy is affected as much by how you move your body and by how you use your mind. And that's why a spell of conventional mindfulness meditation is important, because it's encouraging you to a different way of being mindful. So, if you're able to join in with the meditation now, get yourself comfortable. If you're watching this and thinking, oh, I can't meditate now, that's fine. You can come back to this video and you haven't got to look through all the preamble, because I always start the meditation sections with the Namaste sign. So, it's time to start the mindfulness. Get yourself settled and comfortable. And we're not going to do anything terribly complicated. To start off with, I just want you to notice what being settled and comfortable means for you. And just be aware of how your body feels. And can you notice what's going on in your mind? Are you getting distracted by things around you? Is your mind rushing from place to place? Because this isn't about changing anything. This is about noticing how things are. And if your mind's all over the place, well, welcome to the human race. Very often that's how our minds are. What I'd like to invite you to do now is just take 3 or 4 gentle, easy breaths, being very aware of the movement. Breathing in all the way down into your belly And as you breathe out, just let everything relax. And really focus your attention on your breathing. And the invitation in mindfulness is to pick something that is neutral that you can focus on. And today we're going to use the easiest and most common focus, which is the breath. So all I'm going to ask you to do is to just sit there and notice each breath as it happens, not changing anything, just noticing every breath. And if you get distracted and lose track of what you're doing, I want you to know that you should celebrate that, because the moment that you've noticed that you've become distracted, you are being mindful. And all I ask you to do is to just bring your awareness back into your breath, using your awareness of your breath to anchor you into this time that you've given yourself, when you haven't got to do anything and when nothing else matters except just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. And enjoy that. Now, there's a lot of rubbish talked about meditation, about achieving certain states or achieving clarity of mind, or, being able to sit for, 45 minutes, keeping your mind focused on your breath. Yeah, with a lot of practice that can be done, but at its heart, all mindfulness meditation asks you to do is to be aware of what's happening right here, right now, using your awareness of your breath to anchor you into this moment that you've given yourself to do nothing. And just enjoy the fact that you have given yourself this time to do absolutely nothing. And then, if your eyes are closed, gently allow them to open. Bring your awareness back into wherever you are. Bring yourself back to normal awareness. And just notice how you feel now. Hopefully you feel calmer, more relaxed. You don't have to be calm and relaxed to meditate effectively. You can become calmer and more relaxed by the simple act of sitting and meditating. And what I'd like to say is that these sessions are all about teaching you different ways of being mindful. And the simplest, easiest mindfulness and stress management technique ever invented, and this one wasn't invented, is the simple act of taking a deep breath. Because if you've done this meditation and you've thought that was really useful, but oh my goodness, there's so much going on, well, that's life. That can be life. But I hope what you've learned during this short meditation is that you can choose where you focus your mind. Because what you focus your mind on does make a difference to how you feel. If you choose to doom scroll and read all the bad news, you're not going to feel good. If you choose to focus just for a moment, just for a breath, or a breath or two on just sitting, breathing, being still and calm, focusing your mind on that, that gives all the stress chemicals that the doom scrolling can raise in your body, gives them a chance to dissipate so that you feel better. And your breath is always with you. And any time you start to feel stressed or overwhelmed, just take a deep breath. And that is as good a starting point for the practice of mindfulness as anything else I can give you. So thank you for watching this video. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next week yet. I think I'll just let it be a surprise. But for now, take care of yourself. Thank yourself for taking time to watch this video. And I want you to remember that you matter. My namaste is a little code word. You can look up the meaning of it. But in my interpretations, it means I honour the divine in you, which means I recognise everybody has value because everybody has a divine spark in them, which I want to encourage to bring out. And it doesn't matter whether I know you or not, whether I agree with your politics or anything, what race, creed, gender, don't care. If you're sitting watching this video, you are a fellow human being, and I honour that. And I want you to know that you matter and that the whole world needs you to be the best version of you that you can be. And I hope my videos and the techniques I teach will help you to be the best version of you. And I will see you next week. Namaste.